Thanks for tuning into this episode of FinTech Focus TV, powered by Harrington Starr, the global leaders in financial technology recruitment. Head over to the Harrington Starr website where you'll be able to find all the latest jobs in financial technology across the globe. You'll also be able to download the latest issue of the Financial Technologist magazine, including the Top 1% Workplace Awards. Finally, if you're looking to grow your team, please get in touch. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to another episode of FinTech Focus TV with me, Toby, coming live from FinTech Connect, and it is my absolute pleasure to have Janine Hirt here from Innovate Finance. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me today. It's great to be here.
Listen, great to have you here. As you said beforehand, it's a really exciting buzz. There's a full Excel Centre here today, and loads of people getting very excited about the FinTech scene over here in the UK and beyond. So we've got lots to talk about with regards to that. We're talking about your impact report, a little bit about the sort of funding scene at the moment, which I think has been really, the investment scene's been fascinating over the course of this year. I think there's some interesting things coming in 24 as well. So lots to get through in 10 minutes. Before that, just give us a little bit of an insight into yourself and the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So Innovate Finance is the industry body for UK FinTech. So we are the voice of UK FinTech and of global FinTech based here in the UK. And we really represent the disruptors, but also the established institutions that are looking to transform financial services for the better. So part of our mission is to create that more inclusive, more effective, and really more democratic financial services sector that works better for everyone.
I think there's a big part of that, of the ecosystem coming together in many different ways, isn't it? Because that's just something I've always been really passionate about and loved about this sector. Yeah. That isn't just about, as it has been traditionally, a sort of like a huge institutional arena. There's been a lot of opportunities recently for companies to come through and disrupt and progress. And I'm not sure whether it's sort of evolution or revolution quite in terms of where we go. But I think what you guys have been doing, and I've been watching it now for a number of years. It's been really exciting to sort of see that and create those opportunities, environments for people to thrive in the ecosystem. Yeah,
I mean, I love it. So I think I've got the best job in the world. I essentially get to work with all of the entrepreneurs that are really trying to change FS for the better. I've been with Innovate Finance since we launched back 10 years ago. So 2024 is actually our 10th anniversary.
Congratulations.
And it's just been amazing to see that power and that impact that FinTech has had along the way.
It's amazing to see 10 years of that, first and foremost. I mean, to me, everything's about 10 years, 10 years ago or 3 years ago, and it's something you find out it is 10 years ago, wherever it goes from there as well. But yeah, you talked about the impact that you guys have had, and you've just put the impact reports out. So tell us a little bit about what that looks like.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at the FinTech ecosystem in the community, some of the numbers are out there, the data is out there. We know that, for example, the UK has one of the highest adoption rates, with 8 out of every 10 individuals using at least one FinTech tool on a regular basis. We know that we account for 10% of global market share. We also know that 60% of all SME lending is being done in the UK by FinTechs, whether that is non-bank lenders, alternative lenders, challenger banks, or beyond. You can see that impact, but when it comes towards looking to quantify the impact in other ways, it has been tough for us, which is why around 2 months ago, we launched a brand new report in collaboration with our partners at Accenture that actually stands to quantify the impact of UK FinTech against the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And it's been a really heartening experience because the numbers and the data coming out is, for the most part, fantastic. So we know that 98% of UK FinTechs are having a positive impact on the UN SGPs. We also know that the 2% that are not included in that number are simply not included because they're too early stage to be deemed as having a significant impact. We also know that more than a quarter of the ecosystem is directly addressing inequality, be that through providing greater access or to more products, and more than a third are having a positive impact on the pillar of peace. So increasing social justice, increasing social institutions through areas like decreasing fraud, such as on KYC platforms, etc. So really positive. There's one area we can stand to do a bit more, and that is on the planet. Yep, that's on the planet and on sustainability. So we found that only 9% of FinTechs right now are having a positive impact on the planet and on the climate. And from my perspective, we have members Our ecosystem range from really early stage companies through to the likes of your Klarna, Monzo, Revolut, Wise, everything in between. There's a huge opportunity for our fintech ecosystem to step up and make a positive impact. We know that it's the heart of so many of what they want to do. We know that reaching our net zero goals is so much aligned to data, and that's what fintechs do best. So we think there's a big opportunity for us to do even more.
And I think there is a real appetite around ESG as a whole as well in the space, isn't it? So when you can see, and I think you see it from the institutions as well, having that sort of, there's a lot of opportunity within that, and I think there's definitely the appetite, if not the application so far. So again, it'll be interesting to see how that can develop over the next couple of years too.
Yeah, I was going to say, even on the S, so on social, I mean, this is another area that we're working really closely with our community on the diversity side.
Yeah.
So we saw some great numbers of investment in 2022, but only 4% of all that investment went to female-founded or female-led fintechs. So driving not only gender diversity, driving LGBTQIA plus diversity, we have a Pride in FinTech Power List, socioeconomic diversity, neurodiversity, ethnic, racial diversity. We want to do more in that space.
We've just been talking about that in an episode earlier on today, and I just think the numbers were astounding to me around that. And, I knew that there was a problem in it. I didn't see it at quite that sort of level, which is just, there's such an opportunity as well, and especially when you see the results from those under-invested communities and how much you're seeing above and beyond. And that was a real eye-opener for me today, so I'm looking forward to seeing that continue to evolve as well. You touched on it beforehand as well about this sort of a whole investment in the space.
Yeah.
I think one of the sort of issues we've seen over 2023 has been companies sort of struggling to find that and working harder to do that from, I guess, the sort of golden period of 21 and 22 where money was very easy to be raised. Looking ahead, and we'll be releasing this in 2024 to start 24, tell us what you think that's going to look like. What's the prediction?
Yeah, I mean, specifically to your point there, I think 2021 was an incredible year for investment. It was really, in many cases, I think people point to it almost an anomaly of a year because you had huge valuations, huge investment pouring in.
And that's not necessarily healthy as well at the same time.
Not necessarily healthy. So I think there is a natural maturation of the market that had to happen. We also know 2022 was tough on an economic basis. It was a lot
second half in particular, right?
Second half in particular, a lot of economic turbulence. So we did see globally, we saw around a 30% decrease in terms of investment into fintech from 2021 to 2022. According to our investment landscape, we only saw around a 9%, 8% drop in UK fintech investment, and in London only a 6% drop. And I think that's a real testament to the strength of our ecosystem here. We also still in 2022, if you take 2021 out, we still saw more investment than any other year. And we also know that we are far ahead of any of our European counterparties. So we're more than the next 10 European countries combined.
Is that right?
And then we're second only to the United States.
That's incredible.
So very much.
I think it sort of goes with I'm a big believer in the sort of negative press that comes out through the mainstream press. And it really annoys me about that sort of thing, because I think if you put it into context, and I think context is required around this sort of thing. Actually, what we're looking at is a normalised marketplace, and I do believe that 2021 created some stories that shouldn't have happened, and 2024 I think will be about good businesses with viable products and viable business plans moving further forward and doing some exciting things. Look, I go into 24 bullish, and I think that's the general sort of feedback that I've been getting through from everyone else as well. Let's look ahead and finish on 24 as well. Innovate Finance are never standing still in terms of what you're doing. Talk to me about some of the initiatives that you're passionate about over the course of the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about diversity, which is a big core area for us. I think so much of what we do is around regulation, it's around advocacy and policy. So going into 2024, we know that we need to continue to have an environment here, both supported by government, but also have quicker and effective regulation to help fintechs flourish and to help, not only actually to help fintechs, but also help consumers benefit from seeing some of these new innovations. So we've released our FinTech Election Manifesto, which is essentially some guides for whichever government may be in place in 24 or 25 to really make sure we continue to have that environment. There are some few key areas, some key areas that we need to move forward, like open banking. We want to become the world's first smart data economy as well. But just ensuring we're continuing to keep the levers, the pedals on making sure we've got faster regulation is really important. We've also got our 10th anniversary coming up, both for Innovate Finance and our Innovate Finance Global Summit, IFGS, in April. So we're really excited excited for that. We've got around 2,500 people landing in the Guild Hub.
That's been growing and growing, right?
Growing and growing. And this year we're looking actually at also how FinTech is impacting other sectors beyond financial services. So the retail, the automotive, just looking at that huge impact we're having as an industry, touching so many other industries as well. So that's in April alongside UK FinTech Week, which we also run. So we're excited for that.
So quite a year for you then.
Quite a year. And FinTech is a force for good, and talent and skills, and a lot of other work. And
Watch
our
this
US
space.
program as well. So,
Watch this
really
space, stay tuned is what you're saying.
Stay tuned. You got it.
It's been absolutely fantastic having you over here. Thanks for dropping in. Have a great rest of the day today as well. I know you're busy throughout the rest of it as well, aren't you? So we appreciate you dropping by and giving us your thoughts, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon on the next episode of FinTech Focus TV. Thanks a lot.